Hello, it's Diana Beaulieu here from Sacred Woman Awakening, and I want to take you on a tour of the Level 2 training, which is what follows directly on from Level 1 training for Womb Practitioner training. And I just want to give you an idea of how we're going to progress through the 8 months of Level 2 training. So you can feel into whether that's something that interests you and these are topics that you would like to explore. So obviously Level 1 training is the introductory time where you are starting to connect with the womb physically and emotionally, and then learn how to do powerful intention-based energy healings. So what we're doing in Level 2 is we are going to a whole new level with the healing work. And the purpose of that is to really equip you to have an ability to meet clients in all sorts of different aspects of woundedness and trauma that relate to the womb. And each of those aspects we go to in quite some depth. So in month 1, we're going to dive straight into how we heal wounded masculine imprints in the womb. We'll be talking a lot about the masculine-feminine trauma dynamic, which is basically where the feminine takes in and stores trauma dynamics and energies from the masculine. And we're going to be talking about how we can actually release the energy of old sexual traumas from our wombs, and also the energy of old sexual relationships, so that we can actually start to reset the womb as perhaps the most powerful magnet for relationship energy. This is an amazing topic if you want to go deeper into how to use womb work to clear old relationship and sexual trauma and really reset your whole system to be able to attract and create brand new relationships on a very much a divine masculine, divine feminine format. And we're going to be talking also about how we can actually really call in the energy and the presence of the archetypal divine masculine as a way to really heal our own feminine energy in the womb, moving it back into trust, back into openness, back into the ability to deeply connect if there's been some kind of wounding that's shut us down or made us afraid. So very related to month 1 is month 2, and that's about overcoming trauma and sexual trauma. So what we're going to be looking at is the short-term and the long-term effects of different kinds of trauma, but with a particular emphasis on sexual trauma, because that's the kind of trauma that most relates to the womb. We touch on things like reproductive trauma as well, but that comes later in the course. And we're going to be talking about ways that you can act as a facilitator in order to support your clients to really help release and also integrate and manage trauma. So we're going to be working with breath work, and we're also going to be working with emotional release. So one of the most important aspects of releasing any trauma is to release the accompanying previously suppressed emotions that are in the body. And we're going to be going deep into how we can help our clients to validate, accept, and then healthily and safely release a whole range of emotions, whether that's anger, fear, guilt, shame, self-hatred, or anything else. And that is very, very empowering when it comes to being in the process of releasing trauma. And we're also going to be just introducing and touching on many different modalities that are very helpful when it comes to addressing trauma, so that you can consider finding practitioners who could help you, perhaps with a client who needs a lot of extra support, or to signpost you to other modalities that you may even want to learn more about. So then into month 3 of level 2, we are going to be going into a very shamanic direction in month 3 and in month 4. So in month 3, we're going to be talking about healing the distorted feminine. So one of the greatest principles of shamanic medicine is that when we go through some kind of trauma, and this is why this particular month leads on so well from the first 2, when we go through some kind of trauma, we often experience some kind of fragmentation and even splitting in our energy field. And this can lead to all sorts of things, including long-term sadness around an old event, or a feeling that we never got over an old event, but also literally a sense of emptiness in our own system, which means that we may take on addictions or dependencies, whether that's to substances or food, or even become codependent in relationships, because we're literally trying to find something to fill missing pieces of ourselves that have been fragmented and lost through trauma. So healing the distorted feminine is going into the ancient art of soul retrieval. This is a very ancient shamanic medicine, and we're going to use ways to do it very simply so that we can empower our clients to actually do their own soul retrieval work, which would normally be done by a shamanic practitioner. But in this format, our own clients can call back their soul energy back into the womb and any other part of themselves so that they can start to feel a sense of fullness and a recovery of their own energetic and emotional integrity. Very powerful topic, month 3. And then staying on the shamanic theme, in month 4, we're going to be really going deep into ancestral healing. So within the womb, there can be a lot of residual wounding, a lot of residual distortion that comes from repeated traumas or patterns that have locked in through the maternal line. The paternal line is also very relevant, but we tend to work mainly with the maternal line. So in month 4, we're going to be working on how we can establish a safe and sacred space for doing work that involves not only the living, i.e. our clients, but also those who are in spirit, the ancestors. And we're going to be using powerful healing intentions to bring healing light all the way through the ancestral lineage, so that different traumas and different distortions and even different emotional patterns which are carried genetically can be cleared. And this is very beautiful work because it's not just about helping our clients to resolve their own issues, but that healing is a gift that goes back all the way through the generations and then is carried forward into the coming generations as well. So month 5 and 6 is all about the extremely important topic of boundaries. And we're going to be working with boundaries in 2 different ways. So in month 5, we're going to be examining how there are unconscious boundary violations that can happen within the womb, which can either cause us to leak or give away our own very precious and important vital force, or conversely, to take on the wounded and toxic and unresolved energies of other people. So the mother imprint is the tendency that many, many women have to actually give away or leak their personal power and energy to those who they feel need that energy. So that could include family members, it could include patients and clients, it could include friends. And the results of that energy leak often around burnout and feeling that a lot of people are depending on you or feeling guilty and over responsible in your own relationships. So we're learning how to call back vital energy that has been lost because it's been leaked to other people. And we're also understanding and coming into the realization that we can't give our personal energy to anyone. It's for us, it's our own very personal gasoline. And really starting to make a new contract with life, which involves us really maintaining and conserving our vital energy for ourselves. And then with the Saviour imprint, which is the intentionality, often unconscious, to take on the wounded energy of other people into the womb, we'll be learning how to release that, as well as release ourselves from the contract or any hidden agreements that we might have made in this life or others, to be a savior and to literally absorb into ourselves the wounded, toxic energy of other people. Also can be very exhausting and lead to health issues. So this is a very powerful topic, particularly for practitioners, because many of us in the healing field will have these kinds of patterns, and they will be perhaps even wreaking havoc in our ability to conduct our own professional practice because we are not holding sufficient boundaries with our own clients. And also this helps to redraw boundaries with family members, for example. So in month 6, we go to the second form of boundary work that we're going to be working with, and that's all about clearing codependent bonds. So again, on a deep shamanic level, when we look into relationships and how they operate energetically, what we will often find is that in close personal relationships, they will generally be personal relationships, but they can also be professional relationships. We may have energetic entanglements or threads that run between us and other people. And all sorts of different energies run along those threads. Perhaps there are energies of possessiveness or insecurity, control. Perhaps there are threads of anger or fear. But even more importantly, codependent bonds can lead to two people in a relationship actually taking energy from each other. So one of the foundations of working with codependent bonds is to come to a place consciously where we understand that we are whole, we have our own source of being, we have our own connection to the earth and to the cosmos, and to start to retract any codependent bonds that we have in our relationships, and also work powerfully, creating a sacred space for us and other people so that other people retract their codependent bonds from us. And what that does is it creates new relationship situations where there is now two people who are very much in their own center, in their own power. They have really clear boundaries. And this can clear up so many dramas and distorted patternings and relationships. And it's a very powerful thing to do in order to bring harmony and to bring order to your relationships, and very, very powerful for our clients. Then in month 7, we are going to be working with 2 different themes. So the main theme we're going to be working on is healing the ovaries. So the ovaries are an incredible powerhouse within the womb. They often hold their own hidden energies, perhaps emotional or energetic energies, that need to be cleared in order for the ovaries to be in their full power and their full vibrancy. And what we're also doing is we are healing literally the DNA of the eggs. And this is very important because obviously the eggs are the jewels of any woman, because they're holding the genetic resonance and they're holding the genetic information of the future generations. So what we're doing is we're bringing healing, and we're bringing cleansing, and we're bringing clearing into the ovaries and into the eggs. And it's all around preparing for conscious conception, meaning that we are helping women who wish to conceive really bring that part of their womb space into the highest possible energy, so that conception is happening at a very high energy and is also in alignment with these very new times that we're in, with the new energy that's coming in, and with the new souls, or the souls who are maybe old but coming in now, wish to arrive in a genetic and human family that has done the work, so that new souls, or freshly arrived old souls, are not arriving with an old, degraded genetics, but they're giving every possible start to really start fresh without old imprints. And that's a very beautiful form of work. And in this month, we also cover reproductive trauma, which is what's allowing women to reframe reproductive trauma of any kind. So, for example, we can talk about abortion trauma, miscarriage trauma, stillbirth trauma, and also any trauma that has come about through a difficult or traumatizing birth of a live child. And we talk about all these aspects so that you can help your clients to actually heal and overcome any residual traumas that they've had previously to the now, which is maybe the moment where they're now looking to conceive in a new way. And then finally, in month 8, we're going to be talking about how we connect the womb and the earth. This is an incredibly powerful and important topic, because the womb, when she is really in her full receptivity, is able to absorb and take in a huge amount of telluric energy from the earth. This is very strengthening. This is very empowering. This takes us back to the indigenous tribes, where all the tribal members would just sit around on the earth around the fire and be constantly in connection with the earth, something that we've lost. And when we regain it and we start to consciously plug the womb back into the earth, we can really build a sense of safety, grounding, and belonging. And that helps us to heal perhaps incarnation traumas. It helps us to heal aspects around also safety and abundance. So one of the most beautiful aspects of connecting to the earth, which we'll also cover, is where we're really using our connection with the earth through the womb to manifest. whether that's manifesting abundance or projects or relationships or a home, whatever it may be. We have a beautiful feminine way of co-creating with the earth. And this is a wonderful way to end level 2, because we also talk about how you can use manifestation methods to even grow your own business and to feel really aligned with what you're doing and really feel that it's something that you are able to bring into the world, knowing that you're in full integrity, that you're in trust, and that you are indeed being supported by the earth to do this sacred work. So this is more or less the level of level 2. It's a very different animal from level 1 in the sense that we are working on very diverse topics. We're building on level 1 in order to go deep into all these specialist topics of healing. The format is actually more or less the same. So we'll have a week where you're receiving your materials, a week where you're experiencing a live facilitation call, a week where you can share and ask questions about the practice, and then a week where you're facilitating. So the 8 months will roll in a very familiar pattern for you if you've already done level 1. And I would really encourage you to come into this level. If you're feeling that level 1 really activated and awakened you, yet you are curious for and very, very enthusiastic to take yourself and your clients to the next level of womb healing. So I hope to see you in level 2.